All right, so welcome in to Let's Talk Television, episode 11. So we're here talking about this week's news in television, of course, as always. So some big news this week. So officially, the end of Marvel Netflix. It all came to an end this week. I believe it was Tuesday that the news came out. But of course, we do the show every Saturday, so I'm a little bit behind on this one. But anyways, so yeah, so we'll of course start off by talking about that. That'll be our spotlight topic this week. Talking about the Punisher, Jessica Jones ending, and of course what that means then. Obviously, means an ending for Marvel Netflix there as well. So, and then of course we'll go into some other topics. The Walking Dead ratings. We'll give a little discussion, my thoughts about that. What else do we have? The Twilight Zone reboot trailer. We got a couple cancellations, a renewal as well. For some shows. So yeah, seems like a pretty good episode here. Some pretty good news to talk about as well. So yeah, really do appreciate those of you who are tuning in live right now. Obviously appreciate those of you who are tuning in afterwards too. Totally understandable for that as well. So anyways, if you're following along in the live chat, please be free to leave a comment in there, a question. Share your thoughts on any or all of the news that we'll be talking about in today's episode. Really would enjoy discussing with you guys. And I know the Jessica Jones and the Punisher discussion is going to be an interesting one. A lot of people probably pretty upset with the cancellations, but I think for the most part, all of us kind of saw it coming. But anyway, so yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts on some of this stuff as well. And yeah, so anyways, without further ado, then I guess we'll jump in. Then I'm just gonna check on everything here and get things going here. All right. Yeah, so, like I said, a pretty big week for news. I do want to mention a couple of things that I will not be covering in this episode, but were definitely notable topics. So, the first one was the Night Flyers got canceled after Season 1. I think some people were expecting a Season 2, but it sounds like the contracts just expired on that one. And that's it, right? They're just going to end up with Season 1 on Sci-Fi with Night Flyers, which is a bit surprising because of the marketing, the multi-platform advertising and all that stuff with Netflix coming in with Sci-Fi and all that stuff. So it's a bit surprising why they only got one season and it got canceled. But anyways, that was in the news. And then also a Wizard of Oz, Frank L. Baum's universe kind of series that... I forget who it was. Was it Universal or something like that? Or one of the studios is looking to put together a Wizard of Oz series, or a series based in that universe around that time frame, with some new characters that we haven't seen yet. So that's also big news this week. But again, with that one, there's not a lot of details on it quite yet. And of course, it's not a for sure thing. They're just looking to develop it. And so I figured I'd wait on that one. I kind of hit the brakes on that one. And maybe I'll talk about that maybe when we have a little bit more of a serious news on that one. And, we get a casting announcement or something like that. Then I'll definitely go into that as well. Because, love The Wizard of Oz. And some of the books, too. I've read some of the books, believe it or not. Back a while ago. It's been a long time. But anyways, so yeah. So I do like that universe, and I like what they've done with it. I like that movie with Mila Kunis. What was that again? Was it just called Oz or something like that with James Franco and Mila Kunis? I actually didn't mind that movie. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but so yeah. I mean, I'm a kind of a fan of that universe and that story, so I would really look forward to that one as well. But anyway, so those are the couple topics that I didn't get to cover here. There was also a couple other trailers that came out this week, but the biggest one was the Twilight Zone reboot for the on CBS All Access, the trailer, and we'll talk about that in just a few minutes. But first, as I mentioned, let's talk about this. So the Punisher and Jessica Jones canceled at Netflix. So this article here is from Deadline. And, I mean, okay, so let's just start off by saying this isn't much of a surprise, right? To me, this is big news, but it's not a really surprising, just flabbergasted, kind of reaction to this one. A lot of people expected this. I think some people were kind of actually including myself, kind of weary a little bit on The Punisher, though, because season 2 came back on January 18th. And you know, everyone thought it'd be canceled even before season 2 came on. And then people were saying, oh, it'll be canceled within a week. And it was like, it's been a month now. They waited about a month and a bit to cancel it. And so a lot of people were maybe thinking, oh, maybe that might get a season 3 at this point. But no, so we stuck with it. But anyways, here is the Deadline article, and then I'll share my thoughts of this one. So exactly a month after the launch of its second season on Netflix, Marvel's The Punisher has had to bite the bullet, as well as Jessica Jones. As the only 2 series from the TV arm of the comic giant Marvel still left on the streamer, there will be no season 3 of the John Bernthal-led Vigilante series, of course, The Punisher. The completed third season of the Kristen Ritter starring Jessica Jones will still appear on the streamer, but will be put on ice for good after that. This marks the end of the multi-series big bucks and big ambitions relationship between Marvel and Netflix that started in 2013 with the announcement of 4 series and the Defenders limited series. And then a quote, "We are grateful to Marvel for 5 years of our fruitful partnership and thank the passionate fans who followed these series from the beginning." That was from Netflix. Though the decision not to bring Punisher back for more has been rumored for weeks, as I just said, Netflix and Marvel waited until after the January 18th debuting of 13 episodes season 2. 13 episodes. Season 2 had been on the streamer for several weeks before making the cancellation official. The end of Jones comes as more of a shocker, though. I hear the end of the upcoming third and final season will serve as a savory series finale. So that's Deadline saying that. Now, despite the last upcoming run of the final season of Jessica Jones later this year, the Marvel days in Netflix are deader than someone who rubbed Frank Castle the wrong way, and that's dead. I love it. So, anyways, pretty good article here from Deadline. They go in a little bit more depth, kind of breaking down the timeline of events here with Marvel, as they say, started in 2013, and then they kind of go down the ladder here. As Iron Fist, Luke Cage, Daredevil got canceled, and then these two, of course, were the last kind of hurrah, if you will, for Marvel Netflix. So, anyways, like I said off the top, right, not a huge surprise here that The Punisher and Jessica Jones are canceled. Because I think a lot of people said, because it was Luke Cage and Iron Fist got canceled. People were like, okay, well, those shows probably weren't the best rated. Maybe that makes sense. I don't know. I didn't love it or whatever, right? And then you're trying to rationalize it. But then Daredevil got canceled, and everyone kind of flipped out, and then kind of came to the realization, all right, this Marvel Netflix thing is probably coming to an end if they're going to cancel Daredevil after that third season, right? And then, everyone kind of agreed that third season was the best of the series and also the best season on Marvel Netflix, period. Some people would have even put it in their, top seasons of the year, right, last year. So, after a season like that, such a good season, it's hard to believe that it would be canceled just due to ratings, right? Or something like that, because obviously it looks like the ratings were there from the reaction from people. And so, yeah, so that was kind of the whole symbol of Marvel Netflix ending. And then, of course, we know the news of Disney Plus. Of course, I'm going to talk about Hulu in just a few moments. And the emergence of all that, of course, Disney Plus developing their own content like Loki, Watchmen, I think, is now on there as well. Is going to be on there. And then you have, in superhero stuff too, you have a DC Universe service that's coming too. So, or I'm not sure if that's already out yet. So you have a lot of this stuff with Disney Plus and Disney trying to come back with their own material for these Marvel shows and series. And then also you have the fact, we saw this with American Vandal on Netflix, in that Netflix has wanted, just in the past year, really has been really striving to produce their own content, right? And again, I think I talked about this last week a little bit too. Kind of sound like a broken record here, but you see Netflix signing these overall deals with these creators, right, to produce their own content under the Netflix kind of label, instead of them having to outsource different shows. American Vandal, like I said, a great example of this, because I believe they were with CBS TV Studios or something like that. And again, American Vandal Season 2, I don't think the ratings were a problem. Everyone was talking about it. And Season 1 got a lot of great buzz, great attention. And that one was canceled, and the main reason for that was because it was an outside studio, and Netflix is trying to cut down on that. So the two biggest reasons I would say for this whole Marvel Netflix thing is on both sides. Marvel obviously wanting to take their properties and run with Disney themselves, and then also Netflix wanting to have their own material, their own content, so they don't have to constantly outsource, other studios and license with them as well, which costs a whole nother price tag, right? And that's what Netflix has been doing ever since it was created. I mean, let's be honest. Just more and more originals. You hear that they're spending, I'm not sure the exact number, but it's like, oh, they're spending $2 billion this year, $3 billion this year, $5 billion this year on original content, right? So they're upping that budget each year to produce these Netflix originals. And you're actually starting to see it too. I remember like when the first Netflix originals were out, you never really, you knew it was a Netflix original, but now it's like, the quality level is comparable to the HBOs, the Showtimes, right? And so you can tell that they're really putting in a lot to their Netflix original content. And also their movies too, right? You see Bird Box, a couple other ones in there as well lately. So anyways, so for me, that's that. And then also the article goes on to mention this too, but I thought I would mention it as well. Is that Hulu. So I just did the topic last week about how Hulu has established this new Marvel slate of four animated series, and then they're also doing a limited special event thing called The Offenders, which is kind of hilarious because, the Marvel Netflix one was The Defenders. But anyway, so that is coming to Hulu now. And of course, Hulu is about to be owned by Disney with this whole Fox thing, right? And so, I would suggest you watch that. It's a clip on the channel here on the network, of course, if you want to check that one out, because that is going to talk a lot about this. And not only, I'm not going to repeat myself fully, but yeah, that's also a big thing too. Marvel now, you see, canceled from Netflix, and within the same week, they're already establishing another universe series thing on Hulu, which essentially is kind of their own property now with Disney, with the kind of overarching parent company there. So anyways, so for the Punisher fans, I heard season 2 was pretty good. Some people, I think, have, mixed reactions. I think everyone, for the most part, agrees that season 1 was a little bit better. Jessica Jones, going to be interested to see how this season 3 is. It sounds like Deadline here is reporting that it sounds like Jessica Jones knows or has known that season 3 will be its last, so it sounds like we will be getting a satisfying series finale instead of just a season 3 finale with a big cliffhanger or something like that, which is definitely reassuring for fans of the show, and that's great to hear. I have a feeling that the creators, producers on these shows, both the Punisher and Jessica Jones, have probably known ever since Daredevil got canceled, probably even before that, of what this trend was going to be. Or they may have even known just the fact that they were going to be canceled by Netflix. I mean, Netflix probably told them a while ago. And so, it is great to see there as well. I'm not exactly sure how The Punisher ended with season 2. I still haven't got all the way through season 2 of The Punisher. So, yeah, so I can't really comment on that, and I haven't really heard much about it because I haven't, looked into spoilers or anything like that. I don't want to spoil it for myself, but yeah. So anyways, if you guys have seen The Punisher season 2, though, please share your thoughts, and share your thoughts, of course, as Jessica Jones season 3 goes into it as well. Some people were speculating that we would never see Jessica Jones again, but that has been put to bed as well, as season 3 will still be coming. I believe it's 13 episodes again, will be coming to Netflix this fall. I think that's what they said, this fall, right? 13 episode season, comes to the shocker. Third and final season will serve as a savory final season later. Okay, no, it just says later this year. So, I'm not exactly sure when Jessica Jones will be coming out. I don't think anyone knows at this point, because we haven't seen a trailer or a teaser or anything like that either yet. But yeah, we'll have to see. So, anyways, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one. The Punisher and Jessica Jones canceled at Netflix. Yeah, not too surprising, right? Not too surprising to a lot of us, but still big news, as this now is the official end to the Marvel Netflix partnership. Yeah, so we'll have to see A lot of people have been speculating on seeing the Daredevil character, the Punisher character, for example, a Luke Cage character, being implemented into Disney Plus's kind of new universe of shows, and how we might see those characters. Although we most likely will not see we won't see Jon Bernthal back as the Punisher, right? That probably just will not happen, which is very unfortunate because I love Jon Bernthal, huge fan of whatever he does. Seen pretty much, I've seen a ton of his projects. Obviously, The Walking Dead was the first thing I saw of his, and loved him. But anyways, yeah. So tough to see Jon Bernthal will not be playing the Punisher. Same with Kristen Ritter. She's been kind of obviously from Breaking Bad. Jane. She's been kind of in this kind of iconic role of Jessica Jones. So it'll be interesting to see kind of where she goes as well after this. But anyways, Jon Bernthal's in that new Sopranos movie that they're making on HBO. So that'll be interesting to see him in that one next. So anyways, again, guys, let me know what your thoughts are of this one. The Punisher and Jessica Jones canceled at Netflix. So yeah, interesting news, not too surprising, but definitely worth discussing here. All right. So now let's get to our next topic, which is our weekly Walking Dead topic. We gotta talk about The Walking Dead. Huge fan of the show, of course. My second favorite show of all time. But anyways, so The Walking Dead. We're in a little bit of a troubled territory here, Walking Dead fans. This one isn't that good. So The Walking Dead hits lowest rated episode of the series. This one's from the Hollywood Reporter article. Alright, so let's read the article here, and then I'm going to share my thoughts on this one. And ultimately, I'm as a Walking Dead fan, I'm still holding on to hope here. I've been actually really hopeful through all kind of the news of what's happened in the last 2 years. The Andrew Lincoln thing definitely affected the show, but I've always remained kind of positive on it. And I'm going to remain positive through this one too. So here we go. Sunday's episode of The Walking Dead got dunked on, falling to its lowest ratings ever. Airing opposite the NBA All-Star Game on TNT, the AMC series recorded its smallest total audience and adults 18 to 49 rating, demo rating in its 9-season history. The episode averaged just 4.54 million viewers and a 1.7 rating in the 18 to 49 demographic, off 12% in viewers and 15% in the demo from its mid-season premiere the previous week, and that was adaptation. The Walking Dead's previous low in viewers was 4.71 for its second ever episode in November 2010. Its worst 18 to 49 performance before Sunday came earlier in season 9 with a 1.8 for the November 18th, 2018 episode Stradivarius, which was episode 7 of season 9. The series, while still the top-ranked cable show, sports excluded, across the board, has taken a hard ratings fall over its past 2 seasons. Same-day 18 to 49 ratings for Season 9 are down 40% versus Season 8, and if you go back another year to Season 7, and then the decline is more than 60%. Total viewership has then fallen by more than half in just 2 years. Sunday's ratings will grow by 60% or more with a week of delayed viewing, but they'll still come in well short of the comparable numbers from past seasons. So, that's what the Hollywood Reporter says. What I say... My whole thing here is, this is not time to panic. At least not yet, okay? So this is, here's my case. So, lowest rated episode of the series, though. So my first question, though, is, or my first point that I want to make, and everyone's going to be freaking out about this, right? I mean, hating on The Walking Dead is literally a popular thing now, and I'm not sure exactly how it started happening. A lot of people attribute it to the dumpster death of Glenn back in Season 6. A lot of people lost hope in the show then. A bunch of people, of course, got off the bandwagon, if you will. I would say it was a bandwagon with 17 million views for the Season 7 premiere when Negan kills Abraham and Glenn. A lot of people kind of hopped it off then and started hating on it as well. So, I don't know why. Honestly, I don't know why it's so popular to hate on The Walking Dead nowadays. Obviously, I agree. It's gotten worse. I mean, Season 6 to me is the best season of the series. I just recently did a little ranking of the seasons for fun. Season 6 is the best season of the series. And, I mean, I think that's just objectively looking at these episodes, looking at the material they covered, it's the best. And so, so I definitely agree that it's gone downhill in the past 2 years, and even season 9. So, anyways, it's not time to panic, though, okay? So this is the lowest rated episode of the series, but also we've seen, especially this season, especially this half season, AMC Premiere, which is their kind of new membership streaming service, if you will, for AMC, has gotten really prominent. So for this season 9, episode 9, the mid-season premiere, they aired it a week early. They aired it a week early on AMC Premiere, and you could go on there. I believe it's $5 a month to subscribe to it, and then you get this Walking Dead episode early, and then regularly, I think you get it. I think it premieres at the same time, but it's like no commercials, so you technically get to see it about 15 or 20 minutes earlier because of the no commercials. And so that's an option too. But anyways, so AMC Premium, I mean, these ratings are literally live live domestic viewers. Or actually, I think it is just US with AMC. So it's like, so these aren't counting the AMC Premiere numbers. And if you go back this is a little bit of an exaggeration, but if you go back to, the lowest rated, episode before this one, which was episode 2 of the series, AMC Premiere was not a thing back then. So if you're going to take, the AMC Premiere numbers and combine them with the live viewers, which I think you should at this point for a show like The Walking Dead on AMC putting a lot of work in AMC Premiere right now. I bet they got a lot of subscribers for this, just the mid-season premiere, to see it early. I mean, I think that's a big discrepancy here that no one is talking about, is that AMC Premiere is really gaining a lot of prominence right now. And to not include that in these numbers for the live viewers is obviously, I think, a little bit of a missed, explanation here for this. Now, I mean, if you're going to talk just, it's the lowest live viewer episode ever, okay, fair enough, right? But I do not think this is a symbolism of, the lowest episode ever, because I think if you bring in those AMC Premiere numbers, you bring in the delayed viewing numbers as well, that come along with that, this episode is definitely not going to be the lowest rated ever, even if in that category of ratings. So, anyways, to me, it's not time to panic. We have the AMC Premiere numbers coming in, and that would obviously make up for this discrepancy. And I will say, I mean, like I just said, it's really popular to hate on The Walking Dead right now, but as Hollywood Reporter says, it's still the top-ranked cable show. And honestly, what other show, I mean, these people that are, hating on The Walking Dead, what other show that you're watching has never dipped below 4.54 million viewers? I mean, Game of Thrones. Everyone talks about Game of Thrones being a big series. It's dipped below that. Breaking Bad was way below that up until, about season 5, season 4 area there. Not way, but it was definitely below that. Better Call Saul. I mean, like, all of these big shows that are on right now, and, people think it's, that they're, big shows and the best shows or whatever like that. They don't get the same ratings as The Walking Dead does, or at least they haven't throughout their whole runtime. I mean, to think about that, The Walking Dead had 4.71 million viewers at least for every episode since episode 2 of the series. I mean, that's incredible, right? And then also, the whole part where they make this point of that the total viewership has fallen by more than half in the last 2 years. Well, there's kind of an easy explanation for that as well, is what I was just talking about before. With season 7, the premiere, live viewers, we're talking live viewers. I think this was, by the way, the record on cable television. I still think they hold the record, which is 17.2 million viewers. Live viewers. That's not talking, AMC Premiere or, delayed viewing. That's live viewers. 17.2 million. So if you're going to take a number like 17.2 million and then look 2 years later, it's like, well, yeah, like, obviously you're going to have a decrease. That was obviously not sustainable, as I think they dropped to 10 the next episode or something. They lost 7 million viewers, from that episode. So, that obviously that level that they were at was not sustainable. And so if you look 2 years down the road, it's not that surprising that the ratings are down more than half from 2 seasons ago. And season 7 really kind of quickly and steadily decreased as the season went on there. Like, literally, you start at 17, and I think you ended around like 6 million by the end of season 7. So it's like you lost 11 million viewers in season 7. What, like, so that whole thing there with those 2 years going by and the ratings falling by more than half, It's like, yeah, but then again, AMC Premier got established around that time too, around the end of season 7. So, anyways, to me, this is not time to panic. When would be the time to panic? I would say about 2 to 3 million live viewers. You know, I think that would be time to panic because, again, we have to remember 16 episodes of a show. Not a lot of shows are even doing that. Like, not a lot of dramas out there are still doing 16 episodes for a season. So for The Walking Dead to do that, and especially with season 8 and the budget that they had and all that, you know, you need viewers. And obviously, if they're going to be dipping below, you know, 2 million in that area, I don't know. I don't know if they would keep going. Of course, AMC has talked about keeping this going for like a decade till like season 14 or something like that. Obviously, that's, you know, pretty ambitious. You know, I don't know if that's realistically realistically accomplishable at this point. But, you know, we'll have to see. My prediction is that they'll get to a season 12. That's my prediction right now. You know, by then I would think that they'd be pretty much up to date with the comics right now, or maybe even a little bit past. So, you know, I think that would be a reasonable level to go to, season 12. I think the 200 episodes would be at season 13, if they were going for that. But anyways, so I think we're still at least going to get 2 seasons more. At least we'll get season 10, probably 11, probably 12. And then we'll see where it goes from there. You know, if you're going to have, especially after season 7 and 8 and all this hate that the series has gotten, and you're still going to get 4.5 million viewers live, and especially this was also the NBA All-Star Game. They do mention that here. I'm not sure how much of a difference that really played into this, because it was at like an all-time low since 2008 or something like that, the All-Star Game. So anyways, but yeah, you know, that might play into it too. But if you're going to get 4.5 million viewers still after all of that happened, after Andrew Lincoln leaves, we just got news Denai Guerrero is leaving, like, you know, things could probably not get worse in terms of the kind of public attention, the public eye of the series, public opinion, sorry, of the series, and you're still getting 4.5 million viewers live. So, I mean, I don't think that it's really going to dip down much lower than this. I think these are the diehard fans that are going to stick with the series till the end, and that's just the way it's going to go, and they're just going to keep getting at least 4.5. I do not think they will ever get back to, they probably will never even get back to 10 million viewers. I just don't see it happening unless they, you know, maybe for an episode, the last episode of the series or something, they bring back Andrew Lincoln or something like that, maybe, but I doubt it. I don't think they'll ever get back to that level where they were at in season 7 or 6, you know, 5 in there. So anyways, for me, not time to panic quite yet, guys. The Walking Dead, lowest rated episode of the series. I'm still holding out hope. Of course, I still watch weekly, do my reviews on my Chatterbox Reviews channel. If you want to go check those out as well. But, yeah, so that's my thoughts on that one. Let me know what your thoughts are of this one. You know, and don't get me wrong. I mean, I was kind of, you know, calling out the haters of the Walking Dead series. But if you know, if you've obviously, I mean, please let me know why you dislike the show, or why you think this is a big deal about this lowest rated episode of the series. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Honestly, I'd love to discuss. But anyways, let me know your thoughts of that one for sure. Alright, so now let's go into our next topic, which is, we'll be looking at the Twilight Zone reboot trailer. Alright, and so this one was released, I believe on, what was it? Was it Thursday or Wednesday? I can't remember. But it was just, or no, yeah, Thursday, I think. It was just recently, because I heard on Twitter, like, everything's kind of blowing up about the Twilight Zone. And I talked about the reboot that was, you know, what was, oh, the premiere date. Yeah, the Twilight Zone reboot got the premiere date, and that was just a couple weeks ago, which was April 1st. And then I think I said in that discussion, I said, oh, I wonder if we'll see a trailer soon. And then literally, like, I think 2 weeks or something, or a week and a half, we now have the trailer. So, anyways, so the Twilight Zone trailer has dropped. CBS All Access, of course, you check it out on their YouTube channel if you haven't already. Yeah, I took a look at it, and, you know, I'll just share some of my thoughts on it. Of course, we'll start with the description, which reads, witness the reimagining of the most iconic series ever, hosted by Academy Award winner Jordan Peele, The Twilight Zone, streaming April 1st on CBS All Access, of course. So, trailer dropped. It's about 1 minute and 30 seconds long. You know, not a big trailer, actually. And again, we have to keep in mind it's an anthology, you know, with different characters each episode. Only Jordan Peele is going to be the consistent one in all the episodes, as the host, of course. And so, you know, with this trailer, they have a lot to show us, and in such little time, within 1.5 minutes. Right? So you got to keep that in mind, that you're not going to see everything in this trailer that you want to see, right? But I think, for the most part, I think it was a really, really great trailer. For what they could have done in 1.5 minutes with the material that they had, I thought this was a great trailer. So anyways, here are my thoughts on the trailer. So, a lot of great recognizable actors just off the bat. A lot of Adam Scott in this one, which leads me to believe that he will be in the first episode. Because you see a lot with these trailers that they do a lot of... they kind of put a lot of focus on the first episodes of a series when they do these, you know, season trailers. And so I wouldn't doubt if he was in the first episode, and that's why we saw so much of him in this trailer. But anyways, Adam Scott, love Adam Scott, man. He was just in Ghosted with Craig Robinson. Yeah, really liked that series, even though the writing was god-awful. They were still really funny. That was on Fox earlier last year. And then we saw John Cho in there from Searching just recently. A lot of people thought he should have got nominated at the Oscars for that performance. But yeah, so he's in this one. That was great. Steven Yeun putting on the top hat. That was great. Loved him. I just saw him in Weird City in that episode. He stole the show in that. He is awesome. And there were some really great other actors. The one guy from Billions, I never know his name, but he acts as lawyer in Billions. Kind of a, you know, bigger guy, gray hair a little bit. He definitely has a recognizable voice, too. Who else? I mean, the guy from The Big Sick, I think he was in that one as well. Melanie Linsky was also there. So, really great actors. The cast for this show is just off the charts. And then you get Jordan Peele hosting. It's like, you know, best of both worlds, really, for having a host and then also the cast of the characters. So, anyways, it was really great. And they did a good job of kind of showing us all those big actors. Even if it was just a 2-second still like John Cho, it was just great to see them in there. The tone set in this trailer was awesome. I mean, so eerie and kind of creepy. And the way they show with, like, rewinding time and the numbers, how Adam Scott said all the numbers are the same with the 10, 15, the clocks and all that stuff. So just setting a really eerie kind of tone to this one already, just within 1.5 minutes, showing us what these stories are going to be like. And it just looked really, really cool. Honestly, it just looked really awesome the way they all set it up. And some really great dialogue, too. I mean, if you're, like, a 1.5 minute trailer, but there was some really great dialogue, like Adam Scott saying, you know, oh, all the time, what a coincidence, or something like that, right? And we obviously know that it probably is not a coincidence. But anyways, so yeah, really great tone set in this one. Setting up some good plot lines as well. I kind of just touched on this, but the whole rewinding time, the clocks matching up. We saw a little bit about kind of the cop. That was a kind of an ongoing plot in the trailer as well. We saw a couple sequences with him. And maybe trying to cover something up or something like that. I'm not sure. But yeah, it looks really great. So to me, I think it showed us just enough, not too much. Maybe a little bit more it could have showed us. But again, in a 1.5 minute trailer for an anthology, it's really tough to show us, you know, each episode and each actor that's going to be in it and all that stuff. I think it's 10 episodes. So, you know, that's tough, right? And so I think for what they had and what they were working with, I think it was really the best product that they could have given us, and it really worked out, really great for them. And then also to end off the trailer, the still of Jordan Peele just kind of sitting there, gazing into the camera. That was awesome. Like that was just great. And I think just before that, they said the Academy Award winner Jordan Peele, and then we see this just kind of zooming in on his face, was just really awesome. That was probably the best part of the trailer. So. Of course, everyone recognizes this kind of as Jordan Peele's Twilight Zone reboot. That's what it's kind of all being called right now. And so, of course, he's kind of the mastermind behind this one. And, man, I'm looking forward to it. Obviously for this cast, but also for Jordan Peele. I think it's going to be an awesome reimagining of the most iconic series ever, as they say. So anyways, let me know if you've got a chance to check out the trailer. I really suggest you do check it out. But yeah, so let me know what you think of this one for sure. I'd love to hear your thoughts, of course, on this one. So, anyways, there's also a lot of stuff on. So yeah, this trailer did look great, but we gotta remember it's on CBS All Access. I hate to point this out because a lot of people are really high on this one. A lot of people are really positive, but we do gotta remember it is on CBS All Access. The only thing that they've really gotten going for them right now is Star Trek Discovery. A lot of people agreeing that Season 2 has been a lot better than Season 1 so far. But some of their other shows have been very disappointing. So we'll have to see how well it is. I mean, you got this amazing cast. You got this amazing host, creator, in Jordan Peele. So, we'll have to see. I hope it is better than the other CBS All Access episodes or shows that I've seen. But we'll have to see. I don't know. That's only the one glaring thing for me that kind of stands out. But again, time will tell. We'll have to see. So April 1st, the series will be coming out on CBS All Access. I believe they're doing are they doing all 10 at once? No, I think it's week by week. So they'll do, I think it was 2 episodes on April 1st, and then they'll do week by week after that. So anyways, really great news there for the Twilight Zone reboot from Jordan Peele. All right, so now let's go into our second last topic this week. And this one is a big one. A lot of people are very excited for this one. And that is The Haunting of Hill House renewed as an anthology series. So this article is from Variety. This was big news. Obviously The Haunting of Hill House got a lot of buzz. I forget when it exactly came out. I think it was October area, right? Because it was, kind of fitting with the Halloween, horror type of genre there. And so, obviously huge buzz around this show. A lot of people calling this, their new favorite Netflix original show and all that stuff. Really, really crazy attention for this one, right? And so to hear that it's been renewed as an anthology, a lot of people were kind of thinking, oh, it's just limited series. But as we see again and again, these limited series that do really well, that make a lot of money for, whatever network or cable or streaming service they're on, are most likely going to get another season, and this one is kind of going with that trend. So here we go. The Haunting of Hill House is returning to Netflix, sort of. I like the way Variety sets that up. The streaming giant has ordered a new installment in what they are calling the Haunting Anthology. Meaning, the next chapter of the horror series will feature an entirely new story and new characters from those seen in the first season. In addition, Netflix has entered into a multi-year overall television deal with series creator Mike Flanagan and executive producer Trevor Macy. Under the deal, Flanagan and Macy will produce new TV projects exclusively for Netflix. Just talked about this earlier with the Punisher news about how Netflix are signing all of these creators to themselves to get first look deals to produce shows for Netflix. This is the huge trend that's going on with Netflix right now. So, quote, Mike Flanagan and Trevor Macy are masterful at creating authentically frightening stories that leave audiences on the edge of their seats but unable to look away, said Cindy Holland, the vice president of original content at Netflix. Flanagan and Macy previously collaborated on films like Gerald's Game, Oculus, and Hush. And so Gerald's Game, of course, is on Netflix. I believe Hush is, too. So obviously they have a little relationship with Netflix in the past. The first season of the limited series was based on Shirley Jackson's iconic novel of the same name, The Haunting of Hill House. Netflix later announced that the next season will be titled The Haunting of Bly Manor. It will be based on Henry James's The Turn of the Screw, which tells the story of a governess hired to look after a pair of siblings. However, several ghosts around the manor house exhibit a supernatural hold over their children. Crazy stuff. And then there was also a little teaser on Twitter. I don't know if you guys have checked that out yet, but I took a look at it. Just, it was on the Variety article here. Really creepy, kind of an eerie thing there where they kind of announced that there will be another season of The Haunting of Hill House. But of course, a totally different story with this anthology format they're going with. So, anyways, this is awesome news, I think, for a lot of fans of The Haunting of Hill House. A lot of horror fans really found this one really entertaining, really intriguing. I didn't check it out. Not a huge horror fan. I mean, I like some stuff. I mean, I really enjoyed Castle Rock this year. It, of course, the movie I really enjoyed. I like a lot of Stephen King stuff. Green Mile, It, of course, Shawshank Redemption, The Shining, all of those. I like that stuff, but I'm not kind of excited. I don't get really, excited for horror series and movies and stuff. So, anyways, for me, this is just, you know, from the outside looking in, I know that it got a lot of buzz and a lot of attention, and I've seen the reactions now to this news, and everyone is just really hyped about this. So, anyway, so we'll see if they can come back with the same, you know, if they have the ability to present a, you know, similar, really well thought of story with some great characters, and really flesh this one out to bring another successful season to the series, which again, I mean, that's the hardest thing. Sophomore seasons are always kind of the hardest for TV shows, especially after you get a season 1 that's so successful, so popular. To come back with a season 2 that's, you know, even at the same level, but, you know, little and better, that's tough. And so, you know, we'll have to see if Mike Flanagan and Troy Macy are going to be able to do that. And of course, now along with this, they get a huge new deal with Netflix to produce projects exclusively. So good for them. And of course, yeah, so they worked on Gerald's Game, which is interesting. Of course, that Netflix movie came out last year. And Hush, I think it's on Netflix. I think that's what they said. But I haven't seen that one either. So, anyways, let me know what you thought of The Haunting of Hill House Season 1. You know, I know a lot of people loved it. So, let me know what you think of that one. Let me know what you think of this news then for the Anthology. Coming to Netflix, and of course we get a little bit of news, a little bit of insight onto what the season 2 will be, and then also in the little teaser on Twitter it did say 2020, so it looks like we will not get season 2 in 2019, which is a little bit unfortunate, but hopefully earlier than 2020 we'll be able to see a season 2. So anyways, guys, love to hear your thoughts on that one as well. Alright, so now let's go into our last topic of today's episode, or this week's episode. And this one is The Man in the High Castle, canceled after 4th season. Alright, so this is the Amazon Prime Video. This is their kind of, I think this was kind of their first big original show. And so it's really interesting actually to hear this news, which is, you know, that it's been canceled. It really is, right? And so anyways, so here we go. This was from Deadline. Man in the High Castle canceled after 4th season. The era of The Man in the High Castle is coming to an end. The upcoming 4th season of the acclaimed Amazon series, based on Philip K. Dick's 1962 novel, will be its last. That 4th and final season is set to launch on Amazon Prime Video this fall. Man in the High Castle meticulously and often chillingly depicts an alternative history where the harsh Nazis in Imperial Japan won World War II and carved up the globe, including the crown jewel of North America. Almost 2 decades into their rule, a resistance has emerged fueled by mysterious films that show a reality much like our own. And then, quote, "It has been a great privilege to work alongside our extraordinary High Castle team in partnership with David Zucker and Scott Free to bring my father's classic novel to life, particularly during this tumultuous period in our real world," said Isa Hackett, who's executive producer of the show on Tuesday. Quote, "I believe fans will be thrilled and satisfied by the epic conclusion we have in store for them. We are incredibly proud of all of the hard work from the massively talented executive producers, cast, crew, and everyone who has worked on The Man in the High Castle over the years." And that was Amazon Studios boss Jennifer Salke said, and then she goes on to say, "The Man in the High Castle helped define Amazon Prime Video in the genre space, and we are grateful and excited that we'll continue to be in business with Isa and Electric Shepherd Productions for future Philip K. adaptations." So then, after Man in the High Castle and 2017's Philip K. Dick's Electric Dreams Anthology, Isa Hackett and her production shingle inked a wide-ranging first-look deal with Amazon earlier this year in January. Electric Shepherd Productions is in charge of the stewardship and adaptation of the Philip K. Dick Library, which Philip K. Dick trustee Hackett jointly owns with her siblings. So actually an interesting thing there, which I had no idea about, was that one of the executive producers of it is actually one of the trustees of basically Philip K. Dick, which is her dad. I had no idea that connection. I didn't make that connection before. But basically his library of novels and his works are basically managed by her and her siblings' production company, and then that production company is in with Netflix on this series, of course, right, for the adaptation. So, anyways, Man in the High Castle. So I got into season 1 of Man in the High Castle, really intrigued by the kind of the theme of this one, or the concept of it, and because it's kind of a really crazy idea, right? It's kind of an earth-shattering concept where it's like the whole kind of state of history would have been completely changed, right, if that had happened. And so to kind of go into this alternate universe, if you will, and kind of just turn back one little thing, and that's, I think, what the story does, is they basically change something very small, one of the battles or something like that, where the Nazis won it, and then everything, just from that small little thing in history being turned around, everything is just completely different, right, than what we know today. So, to play with that concept, I think, is really interesting. And the way that they have established this kind of world, they've really done a lot of world building in this series, because, of course, they had to do a lot of imagination of North America, because that was never really in the question, of course, in real history of World War II, about the Nazis invading and trying to, and Japan kind of building colonies in North America. That was never real. I mean, maybe it was discussion, but it's never really popular knowledge to anyone that was what they're going to do and what their plans were for that. And so, of course, with this series, obviously the book first, but the series then adapted it, was that they had to kind of build this whole world of how North America would be split up between Japan and the Nazi Germany rule. So, really interesting stuff. The concept is the best thing working for this show, though. Unfortunately, to me, after the first few episodes I saw, the acting is not great. And again, I have heard that the third season is the best one so far, and I haven't even gotten there yet, so I may be judging a little bit early here, but the first few episodes, the acting was really not that good. The writing was a little bit cliche, kind of, a little bit lazy, to be honest. Just not, I mean, I was really intrigued because of this concept, really looking forward to it. I heard about it last year, around the summertime when season 3 was on, and I was just really disappointed, to be honest. And I'm not saying that, don't watch it. I mean, if you guys want to check it out, for sure, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on it if you are watching it right now, of course. If you feel differently, for sure, share your thoughts. Yeah, to me, it was just a little bit disappointing with the concept that they're working with and the amount of world building that they do in this series. It's just a little tough that, the writing, the acting, those small things, by this huge concept were not that good. And I don't know if that is the reason attributed to this cancellation. A reason is never really given in this article or any article that I can find. It sounds like Amazon is just kind of, just kind of decided, well, we'll wrap this one up. We're kind of moving on to other things. That, it's had its run. Which I'm even surprised that it got to a 4th season because, this concept, it's like, okay, they build this world, this happens. But after a while, it gets kind of old, right? Like, of course they're going to fight back. They're going to, like it says, they're going to have, revolt with these movies and stuff like that. Yeah, fueled by, a resistance, fueled by mysterious films, right? And so it's like, that's the story, but how are you going to keep that going for 4 seasons of, 13 episodes, right? So it's a little bit interesting that they even got to this point, and maybe that's another reason too. Maybe the series just kind of tiring out, and it is what it is. But always good news when the series knows that they're going to be ending, and they know that the 4th season is going to be the last. And so it's definitely going to be a satisfactory ending to this one. They're going to make it sure that it's the series finale. They know it's ending. And so that's obviously reassuring for fans of it too. But yeah, so look out for more Philip K. Dick adaptations then from Amazon. They're going to be going with that one, especially after the success of this one. And yeah, so I feel like this one's a really kind of underrated series. It has been got some attention at the Emmys before. Again, it's a really high concept show. And if you're kind of into that, I think you'll like it. But it's just, you got to get past the acting and the writing to me. And I just couldn't quite do it after, I think I'm about 5 or 6 episodes into season 1. So, anyways, that's just me. Love to hear your thoughts on this one. Man in the High Castle canceled after 4th season. So the 4th season, it will air in fall. And then it'll be done for good on Amazon. So, again, love to hear your thoughts on this one as well. Alright. So that then just about wraps it up here for the news this week. Again, a couple off the top that I mentioned, a couple trailers too. The Barry trailer dropped yesterday, and a couple other things. But that just about does it for the topics that we'll be discussing today. So, anyways, as I like to do at the end of every episode here of Let's Talk Television, I like to go over my weekly notables. My favorite episode or my notable episode, notable performance from this week in television, from all the shows that I've been watching. I think I watched 4 this week. Saw the Project Blue Book episode. Weird City, I saw 4 episodes this week of that. I did my review on the channel as well, Chatterbox Reviews, if you want to check that one out. And then, of course, Walking Dead, True Detective. So, yeah, 4 episodes this week, not bad. At some points I'm at 6 or 7, and some points I'm at 1. It really fluctuates from week to week, but those are the kind of 3 shows, Project Blue Book, True Detective, Walking Dead, that I'm kind of been able to consistently keep on with and really enjoy week to week. So that's just kind of what it is for me. But anyways, my notable episode from this week, I got to give it to True Detective Season 3, Episode 7, The Final Country. So hyped for tomorrow's episode of True Detective. You don't even know. I mean, the Season 3 finale is going to be big. I think it's like close to, it's an hour, 15-minute runtime. Like, it's insane, but it's going to be crazy good. And this episode did a lot of great stuff setting up for that finale. Ultimately, I think it was a bridge episode, kind of, giving us some small details, getting us ready, and then they're going to drop a big kind of reveal on us next episode. If you're watching True Detective, love to hear your thoughts on that Season 3 as well. Really, really great season so far. So, anyways, that is my favorite episode. My notable performance, I got to give it to Norman Reedus from The Walking Dead, Season 9, Episode 10, Omega. He was great in this episode. We've seen more of him, kind of the emotional side of him emerging through this Season 9 of The Walking Dead, where we haven't seen much of that before with him as a character with Daryl. And so to see him in this episode in particular, with kind of the emotional themes that they were dealing with, child abuse and stuff like that, about how he's, kind of talking about that with Lydia in this episode, was really great, and I thought he did an amazing job this week. So I got to give Norman Reedus for that one. Also in contention, of course, Mahershala Ali, Stephen Dorff, Stephen Yeun from Weird City. He had a great episode in that. But yeah, so anyways, that's what I'm watching. Project Blue Book has been pretty good. Last couple episodes have been a little bit disappointing to me, but I'm still going to keep with it till the end of the season wraps up. But anyways, love to hear, guys, what are you watching this week? Or what are you watching, going forward? What shows are you kind of into? Are you watching True Detective Season 3, Walking Dead, Weird City? Did you check that one out on YouTube Originals? Love to hear your guys' thoughts on that one. Always looking for new shows, too. So, that's another bonus of that as well. But anyways, yeah, that I guess will just about do it for this episode of Let's Talk Television, guys. So big news out of this week is Jessica Jones, Punisher canceled, Marvel Netflix is over. So, anyways, it's kind of big news there, and love to hear your guys' thoughts. So, anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching this one. Thanks so much for your support on the last couple episodes. Some views, comments, likes, all that stuff. Really do appreciate it. Of course, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Please consider that, and giving it a like if you enjoyed the episode today. But anyways, we'll see you next Saturday then for Let's Talk Television. A couple more trailers are planning to drop this week for some new shows coming in March and April. So hopefully we'll take a look at those next week. Are there any new shows premiering this week? I don't think so. Nothing too big. But yeah, True Detective finale, I'm really looking forward to that tomorrow night. But anyways, guys, that'll just about do it for me. Again, thank you guys so much for watching this one, and we'll see you next week on Saturday. All right, guys, take care. Bye-bye.